Hello, hello. Hey guys. Okay, can you guys who are in here already let me know if you can hear me and see me? Hello, Sabrina, Toma, Charlie. Okay, you can hear me. Hear and see you. Perfect. Yay. Hannah, hello, hello. Okay, so we're going to give everybody like a couple more minutes, maybe like 1 minute to come in here before we get started. Baker's going to bake. Oh yes, we are going to go through so many things, you guys. This whole table is full of all my favorite things. Yay, thanks for confirming, guys. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's give everybody like a minute since I jumped on like 30 seconds early. We don't want to go too fast. Tell Char, hello, who's Beef? Is that my brother? Whose name is Beef here? Char is actually, he has been removed from the household, so he doesn't, oh, Bridget. Charlie has been removed from the household, so he doesn't pester us during this live, although he would be very cute, but he would be on my lap and I couldn't do anything. Okay, as we are waiting for a couple more people to join, you guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're in a certain state, country, whatever galaxy you're in, let me know. Montana, Washington State, Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, we have so many different places. I'm in Tennessee. I live in Nashville, California, Texas. Okay, yay! We have so many. Oh, Puerto Rico, Nebraska. Okay, so it's 7:01. We are going to get started here. I'm so excited for this. And we are going to start with all of my favorite basics. So what I'm going to do during this live is I'm going to go through all of my favorite baking products. These are things that I use literally every day. I have stashes of, like, borderline hoarding some of these things. And I'm going to go through kind of why I like them. And we're also going to be shopping live on Walmart.com, which I'll tell you about in a second on how you can kind of navigate this, but it's super easy. I'm going to try, we have an Iowa. I'm going to try to keep this under 30 minutes. I did a little test run and it was 40. So it depends how much I chit chat on this, but I don't want to keep you guys too long. But if you do stay to the end of the live, that's when I'm going to do the giveaway for the $150 Walmart gift card. So you're going to want to stay till the end so that you can be entered in to win that. All right, so before I get started, I've researched all these products on Walmart, compared them to other kind of big guy sites. You know who they are. And I've really found the best deals. And I will mention that if you spend $35 or more here during this live, you're going to get free shipping. That's actually just like a general Walmart thing. And again, if you do see something cheaper elsewhere, they'll price match it. I actually did that the other day. I just jumped on their live chat support and price matched it. So that is a really handy thing for that. So we're going to dive into the first products here. And what's going to be really fun is I'm going to search through them on my computer here so that you can see. But the goal with all of these products is really to help you make the most consistent and successful bakes. So ingredients are not cheap right now. Eggs are expensive, and the tools that you use really can impact how successful your bakes turn out, not only with like taste and texture, but appearance. And we all want our bakes to look nice and pretty. So I'm going to give you guys lots of tips here as we're going through all these products. All right. Actually, I need to show you how this works real quick. Then we'll get into the fun stuff. So as I'm going through these products, let me actually just open the first one here quick so you guys can kind of see what a product page looks like. You're going to see a giant want button in the middle. So as you go through, let me find our first one. You're going to see a giant, I think it's a red color want button. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to add or maybe it's yellow. This is going to add the product to your cart. So it's kind of like a wish list. It's not going to check you out right away. It's not going to like charge your credit card or anything. If you add the want button, or if you click the want button, it's basically just going to add it to your cart. So then after the live, you can find all these products really easily. And honestly, that's the easiest way even after this live, because after this live, I'm going to get a link that's going to show us our top 5 products that you guys really liked during this, but it's not going to show you all of them. So the easiest way, and I'm not just saying this so that you like buy all the things, is if you see something that you're like, I don't really know if I want that or not, but I kind of do, hit the one button, at least add it to your cart. And then after this live, you can filter everything out. Like you can edit things from your cart. It's easier to take things out than have to go back and search for them. So that's my tip. I've been watching other people's buy with lives as well, and that's definitely the easiest method to find things back. There's also a little shirt icon in the bottom right of the screen, and that's going to scroll back through some past stuff. So if you do miss something, you can click on that shirt icon and it will go through all the products that I searched before. Yes, DG, this is so easy. It really is. It's like sometimes too easy. It's like add. I've gotten a lot of fun things through these lives as well that I would have never found elsewhere. So, okay, let's go into our first one. Okay, so we're going to start off in chunks. We're going to do kind of the basics. Like if you're only going to get like a couple things and you just even if one thing. This first one is the one I recommend. This is the Nordic Ware half sheet cookie pan. Now I have maybe like 10 or 12 of these. I have so many of them. And what this is a baking tray. So it's probably, well, not probably, it's my go-to cookie sheet, but it also does other things, which I'll go through in a minute. And let me scroll through here to show you guys some fun things about this, or just like some facts that you might not know about cookie sheets. So when you're buying a cookie sheet, you might have heard kind of before of like light colored versus dark color cookie sheets. And the generalized notion to those is that dark cookie sheets like this is kind of like a cheapo one. I don't even know where I got this. Dark cookie sheets generally will bake your cookies faster. So if you do tend to always find that your cookies are like too brown or maybe they're too puffy, it's likely that your pan is just baking them a little bit too fast. There are other things that contribute to that, which I'll go over as we go through this live. There's a couple other things you can get to help combat that. But dark cookie sheets, I will show you guys. This is a dark cookie sheet, no parchment. And this is on this Nordic Ware cookie sheet here that has parchment. And I'll go over the parchment in a minute. Don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I will show you guys here. This is what the Nordic Ware half sheet looks like. Let me take the parchment off. It's a nice shiny, it's just such a great size. And I will show you also compared to a full sheet. So you might think half sheet, it's like, oh, that sounds kind of like dinky and small. No, this is like a standard size sheet. Oh, it kind of zoomed me in there. Did it zoom me in for you guys? I think it might have. That's kind of cool. So this half sheet one, if you compare it to a full sheet, I don't know if it did zoom in. Okay, that's kind of funny. I didn't know that was going to do that. You can see the differences. This top one is the half sheet that I'm showing you guys here on the screen. And this is really the best size that I think. I think the full sheet is a little too clunky. I hate storing that thing. It's too big. And especially if you have a smaller oven, it probably isn't going to fit in that. So we had a small oven growing up and a full sheet wouldn't fit in it. So the half sheet is just the perfect little size. And yes, they are. They're such a good deal, Sabrina. So there are a lot of options that are like $40 to $50. But these half sheets, let me actually show you guys here. I actually have a whole baking rack of them. I don't have them all in there right now. Oh, look at that zoom in again. But they are my go-to. And there's actually, I was looking up kind of like best cookie sheets of 2023. And there's actually multiple online magazines that have ranked this Nordic Ware one the best cookie sheet for the value or like for budget. So that was kind of cool because I'm like, well, I'm glad to hear that because I have 12 of them. How do you keep them staying shiny? Okay, so that is what I was going to go through next. So with these, they will oxidize if you put them in the dishwasher. So it's not going to necessarily hurt them, but I actually have one here to show you. This is what they'll look like if you put them in the dishwasher, okay? I still bake on these. I use these all the time. Put some parchment paper on them. It's fine. But if you want to keep these nice and spiffy and shiny, you don't want to put them in the dishwasher. I think it's something with the detergent will interact with it. So if you want to keep them as fresh, you want to hand wash them. But I'll also show you in our next product here, the parchment paper sheets that can also help them stay really shiny. Oops, I do that. Yeah. I probably 5 out of my 10 cookie sheets look like that ugly one, but I still use them. They're fine. You have those sheets. I love them. Yes, they are so easy and so good. I will also mention, if you do get a couple of these, just keep in mind that you only want to bake one at a time. That's kind of a general rule of thumb. I know you might think like, oh, I got 2 sheets now, I'm going to like slap them in the oven at the same time, speed it up. But the airflow is different if you bake 2 at one time. So just bake 1 at a time. And before I move on, let me tell you a couple other fun things about these sheets. So they're not just for cookies, guys. These are not just for cookies. You can make, I have a sheet pan pizza recipe on my website. It's like a really good fluffy pizza. So if you're feeding like a larger family, or you want to like bake a big pizza to freeze or for like a party, sheet pan pizza is so good on these. And since it has that rim, you don't have to worry about it like spilling over. I'm so patient. You tried 2 sheets at once. Yes, I feel you. That's like what I would like to do. We need like a commercial oven so we can put like 10 at a time. New cookie sheets. I'm going to check those out. Yeah. So if you need some new cookie sheets, these are literally the best ones. I even saw that Alton Brown, like he recommended these as his top one. So that was kind of cool. So sheet pan pizza. Also, you can make a sheet pan cookie cake. I actually made this today. I'm going to take it to my friend's little boy's birthday on Saturday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a fun border around it. I might do like a big number 2 for his 2nd birthday. I might decorate it like his invitation. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But this is the perfect size for a giant sheet pan cookie cake. So that's another thing. Cookies, pizzas. You can also, if you want to roast on them, technically dark pans are better for roasting, but you could technically put like some chicken on it. I would just recommend covering it with foil, because again, if you put like acidic ingredients like tomatoes and stuff, that can also cause those to discolor. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Again, if you want to grab these cookie sheets, hit that 1 button, add it to your wish list. And if you guys also, I think there's a little wand icon if you want to send any like fun little, I don't know what it is, but you can send me some things there. I think it's like little emojis. Yes. Okay. So let's move on to our next product that kind of is a spinoff or a little pairing with these pans. We're going to look up the parchment sheets. So these are my favorite parchment sheets right here. And this comes in a 200 pack. So they are nice and big. And they fit these half cookie sheets perfectly. So if you see here, you can just slap one on like this and you're off to baking. So parchment paper is also going to give you the most even bake. It's really going to help so your cookies don't turn charred on the bottom. And so when you look at, again, this dark colored one with no parchment, this is going to break your tooth. We don't want this. Oh, there's a poll here. Yes, take a poll of your last 2 favorites. Those polls I think will randomly pop up. So just, let's see. Oh, wait, I think I need to hit start. Which of these 2, do you guys see the poll here? Yes, I think you can see the poll. But what I was going to say is parchment paper really gives you that most even bake. So if you think about your cookie on your cookie sheet, oh, the winner is the parchment paper. Yes, the parchment paper is so good. Lazy girl hack. Oh, totally. This is like literally lazy girl hack. You guys, I hate messing with rolls of like foil or parchment or saran wrap. Saran wrap is the worst. Everybody comment below if you hate saran wrap. Saran wrap, instant bad day. It'll ruin my day. I'm like, I cannot mess with the saran wrap. It's kind of the same thing with parchment. Like if you unroll it, it's like all over the place. So basically your parchment paper is going to create a little thin layer of air. The devil, literally. It's going to do a little layer of air between your cookie and the pan so that it does bake really easily. How often do you use parchment versus baking sheet versus /pan? Are you asking if you, can you reword that? Because I always use parchment on these pans. So there's really no instance where I don't. Do you use silicone mats instead of parchment? I don't use silicone mats just because I do so much baking. I would probably need like 4 of them. I also don't, I feel like silicone mats also, what they're intended is like they do give you more of a puffy cookie, not as much of a good spread. And I like to have like a good bakery style cookie. I don't like them like too puffy. So I do find that silicone does make them a little bit puffier. Also, I feel like silicone also absorbs a lot of flavors. So it's kind of hard, like if you put it in the dishwasher, I feel like sometimes it kind of tastes like soap. So I'm not a huge fan of silicone mats. There's definitely a time and place for them. Like if you're doing, let's say you're making like toffee or caramel and you don't want it to stick to something, a silicone mat is really good for that because you can just peel it off. Yeah, if you like puffy, I feel like it does give you a little bit more of a puffy cookie, which isn't bad. It's just kind of your preference. So I will note before I move on to the next thing, there's a couple more things. I have so many things. Also, let me scroll down here. I thought this was kind of a funny thing on this listing. It says exquisite package, you guys. I think that's a little far, but this is a fun package because it opens up into a pouch. So I basically just put this in my cabinet like this so I can slide it out. If you have a really large drawer, you can do that, but then at least they're not like loosely flying around. But exquisite package is what they like to say in this listing. Also, I feel like I'm just going to say also like 500 times during this live is these parchment paper sheets. They're not just a one and done. So you can reuse this probably 3 times. So you can like just keep putting cookies on it until it starts to get like really greasy and like there's no like white like dry spots left. Then you want to toss it, but you can use it for like 3 different times. So that's like 600 sheets of cookies. I know when you see like $16 like for parchment paper, they do really last you a long time. Like I'm probably going to be using that pack for, well, I bake a lot, so probably 6 months, maybe less. But I also did a little math because I'm a nerd like that. And I looked up like the Reynolds, like how much footage, is that the right word? How much feet is in a Reynolds roll compared it to how much feet is technically in all of these 200 sheets. And it's actually cheaper to get this. I think the Reynolds, if you got as many feet as this, it was $20. The 6 is 16. And like when you said before, lazy girl, like we don't need to mess with those rolls. Like rolls are so 2022. We don't mess with rolls anymore. Sometimes we will, but only when we have to. 2 last things on the parchment before we move on is there is some parchment paper. So I have had parchment sheets before where they're a little bit thinner and they start to curl up. So when you're baking them, they might curl up on the pan and they might like smudge your cookies, which is no bueno. We don't want that to happen. But these are really nice. They don't curl up very much. All parchment will curl a tiny bit after it's baked, but it won't curl up as much as a lot of them, some of the cheaper ones. And the last thing I'll tell you guys about this fun parchment paper is you can also use it to wrap little loaves of bread. I actually have a tutorial on my site, just like to show you kind of how you can wrap these mini loaves. You can also do large loaves, but it's just a fun way to gift bread. And when it is pre-cut, you don't have to measure it out. It's just like the perfect size to wrap everything. Okay, so I think we have moved on from our parchment paper. Again, add it to your wish list, your cart, hit that 1 button if you want to add that to it. And you can snag a pack of that. I love that. It's also a couple dollars cheaper here on Walmart than it is on Bezos' site. I'm not going to name any names, but it is cheaper on Walmart, which I found. All right, so we're gonna move on to our 9x13 pan. Justin, I hate when it curls. Thanks for the rec. Yes, I know. When it curls, fury is here in our brain. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our 9x13 pan. If you guys follow me, you know that I'm always doing cookie bars, brownies. Like last year, my chocolate chip cookie bars went really viral, and so I started to do more of these kind of recipes. And this, you guys, is a 2 count. So you get 2 of these pans for $14, which is such a good deal, $7 each. I like to have multiple in, let me move that down. I like to have multiple of these pans because, you know, if you're making, let's start another poll. It's asking me to do another poll. If you're making multiple things, so let's say over the holidays you're doing sugar cookie bars. I think one of you guys mentioned that before. You can do sugar cookie bars on those main cookie trays that I went through first. But let's say you're doing a sugar cookie bar. Oh, the parchment is winning again. Wow, I do love the parchment. The parchment is really nice. So if you're making multiple things like sugar cookie bars, and then you want to make like a batch of fudge, that is really what 2 of them really come in handy for. Now, again, like I mentioned for those first ones, the light aluminum pan, I can't remember if I said this No, I think I did, about the metals and like how metals conduct differently. So aluminum is the one that kind of bakes the most even. And these are aluminum pans. These have a coating on them, so you can put them in the dishwasher. You just want to be a little careful that if you leave them in the dishwasher like I do for a couple days, and let's say there's like water stuck in like these little crevices, they can rust a little bit on the bottom. But for the most part, these aren't going to like oxidize like those first pans that I show you. They're not going to turn like that. These are really good for the dishwasher. So let's scroll down here. You need the size. Yes, this size is so good for everything. Brownies, I'll show you here in a second. Chocolate chip cookie bars, cinnamon rolls, of course, like boxed cakes, homemade cakes, banana bars, all of these things. And here's some Cosmic Brownies that have been eaten a little bit. And so this is the pan I recommend for my Cosmic Brownies. And one of the big reasons is, again, last year when my Cosmic Brownies took off, one of the biggest complaints, there were like hundreds and hundreds of positive reviews, but the ones that people said they didn't turn out, most of the time when I asked them like what kind of pan did you bake it in, they said they baked it in, share these are all mine. I'm gonna eat this whole pan, just kidding. So when I asked them kind of what pan they baked them in, a lot of times their answers were a dark metal or a glass pan. So if you aren't familiar with kind of like the different heat conductions of different pans, this light metal, like I said, is going to do the most even bake. Glass doesn't conduct heat as well. And so if you have ever had like cookie bars, they're like really like puffy and brown on the outsides, and then they kind of sunk in the middle. That can happen in glass pans. Also in dark metal pans, that can happen because, again, kind of like that dark metal bakes the outsides and then it kind of sinks the inside. So glass is really good for things that you want to cook like really low and slow, like casseroles. That's kind of why it's called a casserole dish. And so I really, under no circumstance, recommend baking in glass when you are baking. These are so cheap, $7. Like you have to have that in your kitchen if you want to have successful like brownies and cookie bars and things like that. And again, with those Cosmic Brownies, the other thing is when they did bake them in the dark pans and the glass pans, especially with chocolate things, and especially my Cosmic Brownies, because they are really rich, they can, if they overbake, they can turn bitter and they do not taste good. So that is kind of the thing with that. Okay, I don't know if I can scroll back up. Whoever just asked me that question about the chocolate chip, I don't think I can. Well, maybe I can. Oh, I can. I can scroll back up. What about baking stones for cookies? I personally don't like baking stones for cookies. I feel like they heat up so well for like a really good crispy, like thin crust pizza, but for cookies, they're going to bake them too fast. Actually, I don't think I've ever tried to bake cookies on there, but I just know that they would be really, it would be too hot. Random, but what are the best chocolate chips for making ganache, like the Cosmic Brownies, not digging Toll House? Okay, so I actually did a test. I'm trying to remember which one won the test. I do not think it was Toll House. I think Toll House was like the lowest one. I will post that on my Instagram story, and if I don't tomorrow, remind me the link to that. I think the post is called like, I don't know, the best chocolate chips for ganache or something. I don't remember. I have a post about that where I went through specifically for the Cosmic Brownies, but it was a while ago. I do not remember exactly which one won, but they all tasted different, and some of them set up better for the Cosmic Brownies into like a firm ganache versus some of them stayed a little bit softer. All right, so last thing before we move on to the next product, let me actually scroll back up so you guys can see these. 2 new messages. Let me get back to here. Yes, it's not a video. It's actually a blog post for that ganache. I'm in love with those brownies. Oh my gosh, they're so good. But before I move on to the next product, Guittard is so good. That is like big money. I love Guittard. Like if you want to splurge, get those. Those are delicious. But what I wanted to show you, I don't know if I can show you here. Let's see. Is with this 9x13 pan and the parchment paper. Where's my parchment? The parchment sheets are perfectly sized to fit over this way, so you can create a parchment sling. So you will have to fold them back or trim it so you don't have too much overhang, but the width of it will create the perfect sling, and that is what you want to do for bars and brownies so you can lift them up out of the pan. And once your brownies or your bars are cooled, you don't want to lift them out when they're still warm, but when you lift them out, that's how you're going to get really good cuts, because after you lift them out, and I like to chill the brownies too, before I lift them out, is you can use a really large knife to get really like machete type cuts versus trying to like saw them in the pan and then get a spatula and like ruin a couple. If you want to get those really clean cuts that you see on like food blogs and like in my videos, like this is what I'm doing, is you want to lift the bars out of the pan with that parchment sling so that you can cut them really nice and clean. Okay, let's see. Let's move on to our next one. I think I'm done talking about the 9x13. So again, add that to your cart if you see, if you need that. Just learn the sling trick from Melissa over the holidays. Yeah, so smart. The sling trick is the best. It really is. Once you get that, your bars and your brownies are going to look so much better. All right, let's move on. Okay, I am not going to hit 30 minutes. So hopefully you guys want to keep sticking around. But some of these next ones I won't talk about as long, because those first ones are like the core items. If you're going to get anything, those are the ones that are going to probably have the most impact on the success of your bakes. So some of these other things are kind of like fun extras. Minus one, there's something here that's very crucial that I'll go through here in a second. But other than that, those pans are really what's going to move the needle the most if you feel like your bakes aren't always turning out great. Adding other stuff to my list too, maple syrup and deodorant. Perfect. That is, yeah, double whammy. Do your shopping, get some extra baking things. $35 or more, you get free shipping. You can also, if you enter your zip code into the website on Walmart, you can see if you can do local pickup as well. A lot of the things I'm recommending are probably going to be online only, but you can do that. Okay. Just finished eating dinner, craving something sweet. Might try the Cosmic Brownies. Oh yeah, the Cosmic Brownies will cure any sweet tooth. They are rich and chocolatey and delicious. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is this glass bowl set. Okay, so this is such a good deal, you guys. Like 6 months ago, I got pretty much the same set on, again, the other site. And it was $50. I looked back on my orders and I spent $50 on this exact, like pretty much this exact set. So these are glass nesting bowls. And what is really great about these is that the large one is great for cookies. And then all of these smaller ones are really great for not only prepping your ingredients. So if you feel like you're always, let's see, last two favorite, let's do another poll here. If you feel like sometimes you get sidetracked when you're baking and you make mistakes, prepping all your ingredients beforehand is really helpful. So these really small ones are good for like baking soda, salt. There's literally so many sizes. So the large one, oh yes, the winner is the nonstick pans. You can't go wrong with those. They are so good. So like I said, the large one is really good for mixing doughs, batters, all those things. But then that's not all. Since you have so many of these small sizes, these are what you can do to spin your hot cookies on your pan into perfect circles. So the trick with that, if you've never done that before, is you want to find a bowl, which you'll find a bowl that's perfect for this size, that's slightly larger than your cookie. So if your cookie's this size and it's on your pan, you want one that's just like a tiny bit larger so you can just wiggle it into place. Some people do these with biscuits or like circle cookie cutters. I feel like that's a little bit harder because you would have to have so many different sizes to get the perfect size for those little wiggles. But these are perfect. These are also good, like I said, for prepping, because if you're baking with kids, you can prep all of the stuff ahead of time so that they can just dump it in versus trying to measure while you go. You have these and use them all the time. Yeah. And since they nest, like they're not taking up your entire cabinet space. Best tip for my crusty cookie edges. Yes. And yeah, that's right. If you do want to chop off those crusty cookie edges, then little cookie cutter, just take it right off. And then you can like nibble if you want, or just like don't eat them. I don't like crispy, crunchy edges. So these are really fun bowl set. Let's see if there's any little key points here that I missed. Nope. Pretty much dishwasher safe. They have to be dishwasher safe. I don't hand wash things unless I am forced to. Okay, so let's move on to our next item. These bowls, let me move these back behind me. Those are also really like, they're like durable and heavy. So you don't really want like a plastic bowl when you're mixing, especially with a hand mixer. Because if you ever try to do that, it'll like fly everywhere. So those have some nice weight to them as well. Don't you have a small batch recipe for the cosmic brownies too? I was looking for it on your site. I do have a small batch. I don't know if I actually have it on the site or not. I know I sent it out when I posted it in like an email because it was our baking challenge. But now that you ask, I will get that up. But now that you mentioned that, let me show you. So with these 9x13 pans as well, you can technically chop them. So I think I have a tutorial on this on my site. So like for the cosmic brownies, let's say it's like a loaf pan size. So if you don't have a loaf pan, there's a trick that you can do. Again, I will add this to my Instagram story in the next week or so, where you can put parchment here and then put like a little foil, like a folded piece of foil. And you can essentially create like a little loaf pan size for the small batch cosmic brownies. I also have done that for like to create a 9x9 pan size. I don't create any of my recipes for 9x9 because I feel like this is just a standard size and I don't usually mess with 9x9. But that is what's nice about the 9x13 is you can shrink it and create a 9x9 with it. Obviously, you don't want to do that for like a lot of like the thinner batters because it's going to run right through the edge, but that is a good trick. All right, next thing, let's move on to an oven thermometer. So I said the pans are crucial, but if you guys don't have an internal oven thermometer, you need to get one. Let me click on this one. This is the one. Because if there's anything you take away from this live is that ovens are giant liars. You have a giant metal liar like just lurking in your kitchen. They are not right. So I've lived in probably 4 or 5 different apartments the last like 5 years, and not one of them have been accurate. So you might be thinking, well, my oven says it's preheated to 350. Like I trust it. Do not trust it, you guys. They are not right. They're never right. So my current oven, when I say that it's when I set it at 350, no, yes, when I set it at 350, it's usually 365 or 370. So my oven runs hot. So I actually have to set my oven at 335 most days. So that would actually is 350 at the end. So yes, this kitchen or oven thermometer is the best. You don't need to spend a lot on these. Under $10. I wouldn't even spend more than $10 on an oven thermometer. They're not worth it, but or it's not worth to spend more because these are just so cheap. I also like this one because it has larger numbers and it has sections for like 375, like the in-betweens. As you can see here, some of them have like really small numbers. I can't see that. I can't see that through my dirty oven door. So you really want to have ones that have the large numbers like this. It just makes it so much easier. And you just hang this from the rack. So I always put my oven rack in the middle. So if you have one at the bottom, just take it out, throw it in the drawer under your oven so that this can hang without it blocking or without it running into that bottom rack. They show it here. I don't know if you can see when I like click on these images, but they show them just sitting there. You can have them sit there, but you will knock them over and they will fall to the bottom. And you, again, fury will be unleashed into your body. So just remove that bottom rack and then you can just hang them. So like I said, if your cookies are turning out like too puffy, maybe they're spreading too much, you feel like your bakes are baking too quickly or they're not baking quick enough, I need you guys to test your oven, like preheat it to 350, see when it beeps and see where it's lying. If anybody's oven is actually truthful, that'll be a miracle. But if there's one thing, it's an oven thermometer. So add that to your cart if you have not already. Oven thermometer is the other thing. If people ask me to help them troubleshoot, I'll ask them the type of pan they used, and then I'll ask them if they have an oven thermometer. Most of the time, they do not have one, and they're really surprised what their oven is like. So ovens, dirty liars. All right, so let's move on to cookie scoops. These are fun. I'm going to show you guys a budget-friendly set, and then I'm going to go through the ones that I personally use. You're going to spend a little bit more, but if you're baking a lot, the higher quality ones are worth it. If you're not baking a lot and you just want something easier to help you make your cookies easier, this budget set is a good option. So let me type these in. Yeah, Tess, you have to try it. I need you guys to send me your oven thermometer, like your oven lies. Make sure you DM me. I need to know. Okay, so this set here, let's see if I can get this to click on. Why is this not clicking? Let me try it again. I think the chat is blocking it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is a good budget-friendly set if you don't bake a ton, but you still want to have really like even consistent cookies. This set is really nice. And the reason that these cookie scoops are so helpful is that all your cookies are going to bake the exact same way versus if you use a spoon, you might you might scoop one too large, one too small, and then they're going to bake unevenly. One might be too raw in the center. So cookie scoops are really great for that. And this set here they say like a small, medium, and large. And what that is a 1.5, 2.5, and a 4. So 4 is like crumble sized cookie, nice and giant. 1.5 is like a little size up from like a cake ball, and then 2.5 would be like your standard cookie. Like if you're just making a normal size cookie, you're not making like a crumble size cookie. That is the one you would want. So this is a good budget friendly set. Like I said, the ones I'm going to show you next are going to be a heavier type of metal. So you can feel the difference in between this budget set and these heavier ones that I'm going to go over next. So there is a little bit of a quality. I don't know if you guys can hear. These are going to glide as smoothly as like these here. But like I said, they still work great if you do. They're like $4 each when you kind of factor it out of that $13. So again, if you want a good budget friendly set, this is a good one. But I am going to move on to the other one. So I'm going to go through my 1, 2, 3, and 4 tablespoon scoops real quick. So you guys can see the ones I use. I use the Norpro cookie scoops. You're going to pay a little bit more for them, but they are really great quality. I've never actually had one break, or sometimes like this little mechanism here will kind of pop out on some of the cheaper ones. I've never had that issue with the Norpro ones. So this is the 1 tablespoon one. They call it the meatballer size. I feel like it's a little small for meatballs, but to each their own. Maybe some people like tiny meatballs. But this is the one. Let me click on this little image. This is the one that I use a lot for Christmas baking because I'm making really tiny cookies to put on Christmas platters because we don't need all the kids running around taking crumble-sized cookies. So that's really great for that. I also use it for mini muffins. The 1 tablespoon size is really good for mini muffins. It's good for like Oreo balls, truffles, cake pops, that kind of thing. I also use this for like those peanut butter cup cookies where you do peanut butter dough and then you put a Reese's peanut butter cup. The 1 tablespoon size is the perfect size for that. So if you want a 1 tablespoon scoop one, this is my favorite one here. And I'll show you. I don't know if you guys can see. This is the 1 tablespoon that you see on the screen. And then I think this is the 1.5. So you can see that there is a decent amount of difference from that one I showed you previously. All right, let me see what messages I'm missing because I closed the chat, but now I want to see the chat back. All right, we're going to move on. So if I'm missing your questions, there we go. Love cookie scoops, cupcakes, meatballs, cookies. Yes. I'm going to show you some more examples too. Could you use the cookie scoops for truffles? Yes, you can do, I would say the 1 tablespoon, the one that's on here, is perfect for truffles. It's like a good small bite-sized one. All right, so 1 tablespoon one, use it all the time, especially during the holidays. We're going to look up the Norpro 2 tablespoon. This is for if you want like a normal sized cookie. So if you're not trying to get like giant bakery style cookies, you don't want them too small. 2 tablespoon is like the standard one. I think that's also why they have the gripper on here because it's probably like their most popular one. Personally, I like bigger cookies than this, but I'm also like I like the bakery style. I like them like kind of gooey in the middle. So I tend to use a 3 or 4, which I'll go over in a minute. But if you're not baking large cookies and you just want a good basic size, 2 tablespoons is your go-to there. So these first two are actually pretty good prices. That first one is $6, this one's $8. So if you want a good basic one, this is the way to go. This 2 tablespoon one also you could use for cake, like Oreo truffles or cake balls. It might be a little on the big side. But I would say this is probably the one I'd use for meatballs. I think the 1 tablespoon is like a tiny bit small, but let's see, do you hand wash these or do you put these in the dishwasher? Oh, dishwasher all the way. I do not hand wash them. So I'm pretty sure the budget friendly option is also dishwasher safe. But I know for sure these Norpro ones, they hold up really well in the dishwasher. I wouldn't be caught dead washing these by myself, especially because like the cookie dough will get stuck in them. Or not stuck, but you know what I mean. Okay, so the 3 tablespoon scoop here. Now the 3 and the 4 are a little bit pricier. So they are more of an investment, but the 3 tablespoon is great for cupcake batter. So when you're filling up a liner, the 3 tablespoon is the one that is going to probably give you the most even bake. Sometimes you can go up to 4 if you know the recipe and you know how much it's going to puff up. But for the most part, 3 tablespoon is the perfect one for cupcakes. Also just large cookies, but not too large. So they're not like totally like crumble giant size, but they are, they're getting there. I like to use the 3 tablespoon if I'm making like, I don't know, like cookies, chocolate chip cookies for friends and stuff. I feel like it's like the perfect size for that without getting too giant. So if you want to grab the 3 tablespoon one, click that little 1 button. I thought it was funny. The listing says for dishing up pet food. I'm like, I am not serving my dog pet food out of these guys. Like these, I just thought that was a funny addition to that listing. So if you have a dog, I guess you can scoop them up some food out of your cookie scoops. All right, so let's move on to the 4 tablespoon one real quick. This is the one, the big kahuna one, if you want to do crumble style cookies. 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. So you could technically just use a 1/4 cup like measuring cup, but it is easier to scoop it out with a actual cookie scoop. And this one is good for like mashed potatoes. You can do that. Cupcakes, again, like for muffins, you usually can get a little more leeway with adding a little more batter. You can also use it on soft ice cream. Don't use it on rock hard ice cream. I have broken some of these on ice cream before. So just keep that in mind. Don't use it on hard ice cream. They do advertise it like that, but if it's rock hard, don't do that. You will break the mechanism. Okay, so those are the 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, the budget option, $13 for 3. I think if you get all 4 of these, it was like $45 for all 4. So if you want to kind of invest in a good set, the Norpro are my favorite ones. And I actually, in the inside of the Norpro ones, there's like this little engraving that matches the same engraving from like some Pampered Chef ones I have. So I don't know if it's the same manufacturer or not, but they seem like they're pretty much the exact same type of cookie scoop for a little bit less. My kids have broke a few of those on ice cream after I told them not to. Yeah, you want a dedicated like ice cream scoop if you're going to do that for ice cream. Okay, so I'm going to move on from cookie scoops, and we're going to go over a couple more fun products, and then we're going to wrap this up because I don't want to keep you guys too long. Next thing, rainbow spatulas. You always see these in my videos. I love these. These are the perfect little size that aren't like giant and overwhelming. So let's click on those. It's a set of 5. They're like silicone rubber spatulas, and I'll show you here the size that they come in. You can see like my head. They're not too big. I love these because they're not like giant like this. I never use this one. It's too big to handle. So I pretty much always use these, especially for like my melted butter cookie dough, because you can just mix it up really easily. They're just the perfect size, especially like if you're scooping frosting into a piping bag. I, again, wouldn't be caught dead doing that with this guy. Too big, too hard to handle. And so this is a really fun, oh, they're going to do another poll here. These are just a fun, like, yeah, someone said Roy G. Biv, rainbow colors, always down for that. They're just fun silicone ones. They're dishwasher safe. It also said that you can use them with heat, like on the stove. I haven't done that, but I think it said up to 500 degrees. Oh, is parchment paper winning again? Wow. Okay. I also wanted to show you guys, these little spatulas are fun, like for little gifts. So this is like a little cookbook. You can put a little like oven mitt. These are fun. Like you can literally, you gift these to 5 different people. Create little like fun baking sets with like this cookie scoop. This is the Norpro 4 tablespoon one. So just like a fun little gift. I always like to think of ways that you can incorporate like really affordable baking products and then like maybe pair it with like a cookbook or something that's a little pricier. Basically $2 a spatula, what a deal. Yes, it really is. $2 each. They're so fun. And they are nice and durable. So you obviously don't want to bend it back too much because there is a piece of metal in here that kind of keeps it sturdy. But I'll show you. Bends it back about that way. And then this is actually not from this set. This is like a cheapo I got from some random set. You can see like this one is like really flexible. Like this would be hard to scoop cookie dough. So I like these because they are a little sturdier. Okay, so add these before I move on. If you guys want to grab these, it's a fun little set. I have 2 more things and then I'm going to let you guys go. So second to last thing is if you're looking for a good, affordable measuring cup set, this is a good one. $6. You get all 4 of them. And these are actually good quality. So sometimes you get really like thin, cheap metals, cheap metal ones. These have some good weight to them. They also have really good big engravings on them. So I have a lot of plastic measuring cups that I can't even read the engraving, let alone when they wear out a little bit. So these are nice because they have that engraving etched into them. It makes it really easy. I also like this. There's only 4 in here. Some measuring cup sets come with like, I don't know, like 6 or 8. Like it'll have like an 8th cup. It'll have like all the little measurements, which can be helpful, but it just clutters up your cabinet and like you're pretty much only using these core ones. And then what I like to do, this is a little tip. I try to develop my recipes this way, but as you're baking, kind of look at the recipes and like the smallest common denominator in the recipe. So like, let's say it's a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/2 cup of white sugar. Don't get both of those measuring cups out. Just get the smallest one, like the 1/4 cup, and then you can just do 2 scoops of the brown sugar. So that's the same thing with this one. This one doesn't come with a 3/4 measuring cup, but that's where I would just do 3 of the 1/4 cups. And it just makes it really easy to not have a lot of dishes. So this is a really good set. Stainless steel, dishwasher safe, easier clean. I also think that metal ones clean better in the dishwasher than plastic. I feel like probably because it heats up better, like with the heat, and it'll like melt off all the gooey cookie dough. So I do really like this set. And last but not least, okay, I'm going to move on from this. So if you want to snag it now. Last thing, we cannot end without a little bit of some sprinkles. You guys know I like sprinkles. I will show you this. Maybe if we do another live, we could do like a baking organization. You guys, that whole tower is sprinkles. I will show you that another day. But if you've been following along, you guys know I have a little bit of a sprinkle problem, sprinkle addiction. Yeah, sprinkles all the way. I have so many sprinkles. It's hoarding. It's a hoarding situation at this moment. So if anybody broke in, they're going to check all those drawers. They're going to find, they think they can find valuables. No, they're not going to find valuables. They're going to find 50 to 100 bottles of sprinkles. Yeah, maybe if we do another live like this, we can do an organization live. That would be really fun. If anybody wants me to do that, if we do another live like this, let me know in the comments. Okay, but we're moving on to the last thing, sprinkles. I found a really fun little set here on Walmart. Because like I said, I have so many sprinkles and typically you're spending like $5 to $6 for like a certain variation of sprinkles. And this is a fun one. I think this is the one. Oh wait, no, this is not the one. I also clicked on that one because that one's cute, but let me see if I can find the exact one. There was one that had the Cosmic Brownie sprinkles in them. Where'd they go? They used to pop up right at the beginning. I feel like maybe they're sold out or something. It looks just like this, but it's not. Wilton 6-cell rainbow sprinkles. I have the link to it, but I feel like if I type the link in, it might redirect me off this page. We don't want that to happen. Okay, maybe that Wilton one is gone. Okay, let me do one more search before we give up on that one. But it was basically a set that had like the Cosmic Brownies. Yeah, maybe it's sold out. What's a good mix? Not there. Wilton rainbow sprinkles, turning lid. Rainbow chip. Last ditch effort. Okay. They were there this morning. Maybe they're not here anymore. But I will go over that last one. The other one I was going to show you guys is this Walmart one. Where'd it go? Leave it to the last one to create a little bit of a problem of finding it. It literally just popped up though. Rainbow sprinkle. Let's just look this up one more time. Home edit collab. Oh, that would be fun. They're in Nashville. Maybe I should go stalk them at their office and like knock on the door. Okay, here we go. This is the other cute mix. And what I like about this one is that I like the dark green in this mix. It just makes it a little more like unique than like the standard one that you get. And then this one also has the chocolate ones, which are really fun for putting on brownies. You have the traditional rainbow jimmies. You have those little disc ones that would be fun for Easter coming up. And then those little balls you could use on Cosmic Brownies, but they're not technically like the chocolate ones. And then the stars, this is actually a really good set. You can use for Christmas, like to put on little trees. So that is a good set since our little Wilton one ran away. I don't know where that one went. Kind of rude. Whatever happened to that one. But that is the last product I was going to share with you guys. So we lasted 50 minutes. We didn't go over our hour. That is good. The parchment looks like it still is winning the poll. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our giveaway. Okay, so once this poll kind of wraps up here in a second, I'm going to close that out. Let me go back to our chat. Is it the first one? I see similar ones in that. Yeah, it is a really similar set. Did I miss it? You're making me think I missed it. No, it wasn't this first one because this would work for Cosmic Brownies, but that's not the one I'm thinking. This one's really cute too. This one would be really cute for Christmas. So if you want to do a real quick one on that one before I close it out, that one's really fun for Easter. Okay, well, I'm sure I'll find this after the live. I'll link it in my stories if I find it back, but I feel like maybe it's gone. Okay, we're going to do when you had 6 and search. Okay, anyways. 6. Okay, I can't give up on this, guys. I will give up after this. Yeah, it's not popping up. I have the direct link to it, but I'm worried that if I click it, it'll close out of my live. Okay, anyways, let's do our giveaway here for our $150 gift card. So what we're going to do is leave me, if you like snagged a product, if you put any in your cart, if you plan to buy one, leave your favorite product in the comments below. And I'm basically going to like look away and then I'm going to look back and whoever's comment I look at first is going to be the winner of the $150 gift card. So get in your little votes here. And then any second, I'm going to kind of scroll up and I'm going to just pick somebody. Okay. So I'm going to give you like 10 more seconds, add everything. Well, my card has 11 things in it. So probably the thermometer. Yes. Yes. And like I said, that is the easiest way to do it. Add everything to your cart. You can filter out later. That's what I've been doing in these lives. All right, here we go. Let me give you just a couple more seconds for everybody's little comments to roll in. Parchment paper Easter sprinkles. Yeah, those sprinkles are so cute. I want to go through all these sprinkles, but maybe we'll have to have a sprinkles live as well soon. Yeah, measuring cups, your plastic ones are dead. Yeah, this is a really good set for how cheap it is. Basically everything is in my cart. Yes, and don't forget $35. If you spend $35 or more, you get free shipping. And again, if you find anything on a competitor site and it's cheaper, they will price match it. And it's actually a lot easier. I thought I'd have to go into the store and like berate them about the price match, but you can just jump on the live chat support, send them the link to the other thing, and they'll refund you on the difference. All right, so here we go. We're gonna pick the winner. I'm gonna scroll up. All right, Meg, measuring cups. My plastic ones are dead. You are the winner here for a $150 gift card. DM me on Instagram with the email that you signed up with the live, so we can kind of verify. I'm going to take a screenshot here. You are the winner of the gift card, Sprinkles All Day. Yes, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had so much fun on this. I had so much fun, like kind of just gathering up all my favorite products and sharing them with you and sharing all the tips and tricks. I hope we can do this again. And like I said, I'm going to do maybe a little thing on Instagram tomorrow asking you what theme you want next, but I do like the idea of kitchen and baking organization. That would be a really good little theme, especially with the new year. Get all organized. I actually just like organized all this stuff as well. Thanks so much. Love to do again. Okay, yes, you guys, I would love to do this again. Hopefully Walmart will let me keep doing these. They are so fun. I love doing these like little QVC is what I'm showing. What I'm saying is like we can geek out on baking products together. Alrighty, yes, come on Walmart, you guys. And the big thing is Walmart likes to see people sign up for these. So their kind of like metric is if they see a lot of people signing up for these, they're more likely to have us do them again. So send, like if I do a next one, send the link to all your friends, sign up, and then that will hopefully get us to do more of these. Spread the word. Yes, spread the word. And yes, follow on Instagram, TikTok, all the things, all the recipes. My TikTok and my Instagram link to my website where you can find all my recipes. And I will let you guys go before I ramble too much. But this was so much fun. And I will catch you guys on Instagram. Again, I'll post some of those things that I referenced, like some of the tutorials, that ganache that you guys were asking about, the brands. And I will also link as many of these products as I can. But go have fun with your carts, everything that you snagged, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.